And thank you for joining us. Your Delta News at 10 begins in LeFlore County, where a collision sends 3 people to the hospital. It happened at 1:30 this afternoon at the intersection of Highway 82 and Highway 7 near Itta Bena. 2 Cadillacs, one red and one black, collided. The red car continued more than 100 feet before coming to rest in the median. The Mississippi Highway Patrol says 80-year-old Martha Williams of Greenwood and her daughter, 55-year-old Catherine Parker of Georgia, were northbound on Highway 7. As Williams tried to cross Highway 82, the front end of her car collided with the front end of a car driven by 27-year-old Willie Robinson of Itta Bena. All were taken to Greenwood LeFlore Hospital with moderate injuries. All were wearing seat belts at the time of the accident. It's graduation day for hundreds of seniors at Mississippi Delta universities. Ceremonies were held on 2 campuses today. We begin with Delta State's 87th commencement. Nearly 500 students received degrees. Graduates not only came from across the state and country, but also the world, with some from as far away as Japan, France, and the United Kingdom. Addressing the students at today's commencement was 1982 graduate William Bell. He told the graduates that this is their world now. He said if the graduates continue to seek knowledge, they can do anything.
Education has the power to transform lives, to transform our minds, to transform our circumstances, to transform our future prospects far beyond anything we could ever hope, dream, or imagine.
Also at today's graduation, Delta State honored one of its most notable alumni, Lucy Harris Stewart, with an honorary doctoral degree. And Mississippi Valley State held its 62nd commencement. 3 ceremonies were held, 2 this morning and 1 this afternoon. Keynote speaker was Valley graduate and Humphreys County native Clara T. Reed, CEO of Mid-Delta Home Health and Hospice. Nearly 500 degrees were handed out, and President William Bynum conferred golden degrees for members of the MVSU class of 1964. And we here at WXVT extend our congratulations to all graduating students. Earlier this week, we told you about an attempt to smuggle contraband into the state penitentiary at Parchman. Now the Mississippi Department of Corrections provides more details. 3 men were arrested after a civilian reported a 2002 Buick LeSabre attempting to ram his vehicle while the Buick was leaving the prison grounds at 5 a.m. on May 3rd. Investigators found the Buick wrecked in a ditch near Unit 29 with 1 man still in it and 2 others running. Investigators, with the help of a K-9 unit, found bags containing marijuana, papers, and cell phones. There was also a loaded .45 caliber pistol, which was stolen in 2009 from Saginaw, Michigan. 26-year-old Vincent McGee, 25-year-old Oriente Taylor, and 29-year-old Desmond Evans are each charged with introduction of a controlled substance into a correctional facility, introduction of contraband into a correctional facility, 2 counts of conspiracy, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. McGee, who had been out on earned release supervision, is now an inmate at Unit 29. Once his earned release suspension ends on May 29th, he'll be sent to the Sunflower County Jail on the new charges. McGee was sentenced previously for carjacking and 2 armed robberies in Hinds County. Both Taylor and Evans were released on probation earlier this year. Taylor served time for armed robbery and vehicle theft, which occurred in Hinds County, and Evans served time for armed robbery in Madison County. The search is on for more than 200 girls who were kidnapped from their school in Nigeria. Across the United States, people are taking to the streets demanding the girls' rescue. Omar Villafranca reports from Dallas.
Mothers of the kidnapped girls were recently seen weeping as they wait for any news about their missing daughters. It's been nearly a month since Islamic extremists took more than 270 girls from a Nigerian school. Some girls who managed to escape are recounting how they did it.
Mu dai muna hostel muna zama har sauran ma sun yi barci mu kuma muna zama muna hira sai muka ji harbi da muka ji harbi kuma sai mu sauran kuma suka ci kar mu ji sauran mu dan zo na tukunna mu ji harbi nan tukunna muna zama sai su kuma suka zo sai suka buga kofa.
The pressure is on the Nigerian government to find the girls. Rallies were held in several U.S. cities on Saturday, and the First Lady used the president's weekly address to talk about the kidnapping.
And I want you to know that Barack has directed our government to do everything possible to support the Nigerian government's efforts to find these girls and bring them home.
The First Lady later gave the commencement address at Dillard University in Louisiana, where the valedictorian is from Nigeria and went to a school similar to the kidnapped girls.
Please, let's take a couple of seconds of silence to show our support for finding these girls.
U.S. officials are in Nigeria helping with a rescue plan. Many are criticizing the Nigerian government for not accepting foreign help sooner. Omar Villafranca, CBS News.
It's not clear if the kidnapped girls are still being held together or they've been broken up into smaller groups and taken to separate locations.
Now, WXVT Delta Sports.
Craig will be with us in a moment, but right now we're going to talk about mud bugs, the Delta's version of seafood, on the menu today in Leland. It was the 23rd annual Crawfish Festival. Cicero's restaurant cooked 1,900 pounds of crawfish for the event. Leland's Crawfish Festival is the oldest of its kind in the state of Mississippi. Legendary cooks like Fred Abshire and Gerald Fry helped make it what it is today. Event chair Billy Johnson discusses the influence the cooks have on the Delta.
And now it's known for crawfish too, so the Cajun, the Louisiana natives that moved to the Delta have made a very positive impact on our culture.
Wayne Dopsy and the Zydeco Hellraisers brought their unique instruments and sounds to the Delta, getting the crowd up and dancing. And in Clarksdale, they take to the streets for the Blues Caravan. The three-day event began Friday. It features a variety of musical acts performing outside the Cathead store on Delta Avenue and the Rock and Blues Museum on 2nd Street. One of today's acts was Rip Lee Pryor. Let's have a listen.
If you just let me love you, baby, you wouldn't need nobody else. Take it good, take it good.
The Blues Caravan continues tomorrow with Stephen Duncan kicking things off at 11 o'clock outside the Rock and Blues Museum. Admission is free.